stuff, Claudia, as Minnesota United. This is how they'll come out. Tony Meola, 3 changes from their win at the weekend against San Diego FC.
Goes into the midfield. Owen Wolf's been outstanding. We talked about him in the open. Mirtu Uzuni is a guy who can run in behind defenses.
Austin FC with Uzuni leading the line. Nico Estevez in some ways identifying this tournament as where their season changed. In the quarterfinal, coming from behind to beat San Jose in the midst of a chaotic, crazy Open Cup tie. Brandon Vasquez gets hurt, and in some ways their results have improved from there. Winning more games, scoring more goals.
And Nico Estevez told us he put the onus on some of these players. You got to step up. Look, we just lost our big goal scorer, so they've got to come up with the goods, and Owen Wolf has been able to do that.
And for Eric Ramsey, second season, first full season in charge, took over after last being an assistant coach at Manchester United. Still a very young head coach, but has forged an identity for this Minnesota United team. They are the side last in possession and first in goals scored from set pieces. It is exactly who they want to be. As a bit of a false start, Uzuni will eventually get us going. Our matchday referee is Alexis da Silva, which we're underway from Allianz Field. Minnesota United playing host to Austin FC in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup semifinal. Every chance they get, send those balls over long distance, they will take them. It's knotted down, and arriving is Robin Lund. What touches, and he just couldn't direct the last one goalwards.
Wow, what an opportunity here. You mentioned
over their head, which is customary with the set pieces here at Allianz Field. A building atmosphere as Pereira lifts into that 6-yard box. Header was on, shouts for handball as Boxall won the header as it's lifted to safety. And we'll come all the way back to Dane St. Clair. Those Minnesota players thought that came off the arm of an Austin defender in the midst of all of it.
There were a lot of bodies in the box. It's hard to tell. The ball certainly did bounce around in the air.
Here's Yeboah, edge of the area, going over. Referee says no. Pereira on the volley. Didn't catch it cleanly with his weaker right. Dragged the effort wide.
This is what they do. Get the ball forward, win a second ball, get opportunities. We've seen it already 2 or 3 times in this match so far. Here's the corner kick. We'll have a look here. Oh, it looks like it comes off of Djordjevic's, the back of his head, and here's the ball played in. It doesn't look like there's a foul, but there's a really good opportunity for Pereira there.
Comes to him out of nothing, but unable to turn it into a clear chance. Would have preferred it came to his preferred left boot as Heinz Eich, recognizing he was in trouble, and just gives away a throw-in, but in some ways you're giving away a set piece from this sort of range.
Yeah, this is, I was going to say, try and kick it up the field. This is not where you want to give up restarts, and oddly, as good as they are in restarts, if you just know the makeup of this team, you would have thought Boxall is the guy that's in the box flicking things on. He's the guy taking the throws.
Because he can launch him like that, away from Cascante. And knotted down from Trapp, and Mike Boxall returns serve. Here's Trapp, able to get beyond one. No real obvious option, showing some trickery there. Lund in the area. Robin Lund catching it! Through Dessler and now Iliet. Slid to Brendan Heinz Eich. Kolmanich, good bending ball into Uzuni. Didn't get the finish right. Had to redirect it towards goal, but instead steered it wide.
You don't get too many of these opportunities from out wide here with as good as Minnesota United normally is. This is a great ball played in. Uzuni's got to put this one in the back of the net. This will be a head scratcher for Uzuni here when he thinks about the opportunity that he's had.
Direct ball
for no reason when I know we can get out on the counter like that. So it's a theory, right? It's a theory on how you want to play.
It's one that's not particularly in vogue at the moment, so much about it's Nashville in 2 weeks' time. Jean Kolmanich, nobody really there for Austin to play it, but second ball comes out for Bukati. Wanted to go running beyond. Can still take that chance, gets beyond Triantis. Lifted in, back post on the volley is Wolf. Never really threatening St. Clair.
But it just goes to show how difficult the job is.
Ilie hooking away, playing towards Will Trapp, who heads it back into that danger area to time added on. It's a good ball in behind here. Bukati will get to it first. Here's Osman Bukati, and it gets through the legs of St. Clair and goes over the line. Austin have a goal on the stroke of halftime. Always that threat in behind. Osman Bukati with his second goal of the Open Cup and a shock lead for the Verde.
Well, Chris, we talked about Bukati. He's been the most dangerous player on the field for Austin tonight. A simple ball over the top with Minnesota United at midfield. There was a hint of offside here. This won't be a good angle, but Owen Wolf, who hasn't been involved in this game, plays a great ball over the top. Daneson
will try and get a response. Pereira sending a cross in. Easy work there for Stuver, and that gets us to halftime. Austin FC with that late goal at the end of the first half through Osman Bukati, played in behind, a simple direct ball with Calvin Yaboa coming off due to injury in the middle part of that first half, as Minnesota will now send it straight out of play and out for the throw, and basically how Nico Estevez imagined the best case scenario of his game plan.
Yeah, no doubt about it, right? On the road. I just think in general, anytime you're on the road, you go in the dressing room, you always talk about even or ahead at halftime when you're on the road. I just think it's just a massive plus. And when it comes that late, there's probably some idea Nico Estevez wanted to change something. It changes your conversation, right? And we have this trite saying in this game, goals change games, right? Well, this one changed the game, no doubt.
There is the head coach of Austin FC in his first season in charge. Spending 2.5 years at in-state rivals FC Dallas. Giving another go to manage the Texas team, is trying that poke towards goal. Will come from Marcanic.
Ooh, not far off here. Is in the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but he looked a little bit ahead of that. At least in that slow play. Did it touch his body at that point? It's hard to tell when you just stop it there.
Difficult one though for Minnesota to watch. Here's Lud on the turn. Well poked in behind. Cross to Marcanic, and Longwane was stretching, but Stuver getting to it first. Here's Trapp giving it back to Marcanic. We'll send another cross, and this time Stuver handles and collects.
A little higher press here from Minnesota United.
Ilie. These are the moments that Austin can go. Kalmanich's run, this time well found. A couple of options running with him. Here's Kalmanich. He will lift to that back post. Bukati on the volley. Hit it into the floor. Uzuni pleased that it wasn't cut back towards him. But a big chance for Austin second.
Once that run was made to the back post, look how Uzuni opens up here. And you can see right at the end, Marcanic has to make a decision, and Uzuni's wanting that ball at his feet. That's a tough ball here for Bukati to steer on frame. Does well enough to get to it, hanging up in the air.
Diaz taken down from behind there by Wolf. He's trying to make a push at the end of this season, bringing in quite a few players. Corner delivered to that back post, well won there from Djordjevic. Both slid forward there from Trapp, but Pereira stepping out of midfield and has the chance for a break on. Bukati is running. Uzuni is as well. Uzuni will get played in. Uzuni into the penalty. Mirto Uzuni! Stinging the gloves there of St. Clair, who always had that covered.
I think Nico Estevez will be really happy with Dessler's contribution tonight. This will offer a little bit of speed on the outside from Gallagher. Dessler, a steady game from him.
How would a coach handle this sort of moment in a cup semifinal? You've executed the game plan well to date. Are you looking for that second goal, or not taking too many risks?
I wouldn't change anything if I were Austin right now. You see how many opportunities they've had, 3 or 4 on the counter here, right? Because this is Minnesota having to open up now. This is not the mode that they want to play in.
Turning here is Fitz. Trickery there in the box. Sliding back for Rosales! And Brad Stuver, another good save, and that traveling support still making that Stu chant heard.
Yeah, the danger here on shots like this, Chris, is any type of deflection as this ball comes in. Rosales gets a good piece of it. You see it going by Gressel. Brad Stuver, as you mentioned earlier, has been there from day one and has seemingly gotten better and better as the days have gone on. Clean on that one.
Rosales. And that cross in, Pereira able to volley away, and it's Bukati who's going to get to it first. And it's a decent idea towards Uzuni, couldn't quite control. Here's Lud. Comes back into that midfield.
See, this I think is where it's difficult for Minnesota. Fitz does a nice job here, but this is not necessarily where they operate. But now you're going to see an opportunity. And the referee, I don't know if you noticed it there, Chris, started to reach into his pocket and maybe realized it was Pereira, who's sitting on a yellow card already. Pereira catches Pereira. You can't see the referee from here. There's not a ton of, it's a foul, no doubt about it. I like leaving it alone. But there was an initial movement with the hand, and I thought, oh boy, he's in trouble right now.
He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Another one that you look at and debate about potentially being a red card.
Yeah, that one for me. Leave it alone, give the free kick, and let's get on with this game, right? Try and finish with 11 players on each side here.
There also will be a warning, though, for Danny Pereira.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was.
Yeah.
Here's Joaquin Pereira. Creates the creative spark for this team.
There's two at the back post here.
Pereira taking the strike on. Oh, what a hit! That is some way to get back into a cup semifinal. A perler of a free kick from Joaquin Pereira. 1-0.
Well, we've been talking all night about how good Minnesota United is on restarts. This wasn't the picture we were painting. We'll see what the wall does, and it's, for me, this is the wall here. This goes around the wall. This is on Brad Stuver and the wall here. As good as he's been, there's no chance you can allow this ball to get around the wall with the quality of Joaquin Pereira and the way that he strikes a ball.
Here's Fitz. Playing with Trapp. Nice touches there. Now wide here for Diaz. We'll measure the strike and hit it solidly, but Stuver making another save.
Easy one here for Brad Stuver from that distance.
Here's Stuver. Here's Cascante. Bukati letting it run. Can't quite control it. Let's go down to the sidelines and Claudia Pagan. And Minnesota pride themselves on not trailing for very long, Claudia.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Eric Ramsey made sure to let us know that they're the team in the league who are losing for the least amount of time, and he not only emphasized that to me, but he emphasizes that constantly to his team. He said that the amount of energy that they have to put into reinforcing the fundamentals of this system is really the biggest part of this system, but that the coaches do a really good job of that.
Given away there, and a poor one from Boxall as Wolf is onto it. He'll win a throw. Just to back that up, Minnesota have only trailed in 9.3% of their MLS matches, which is the fewest in Major League Soccer.
Eric Ramsey lied to us. He said it was 7%. No, it's an amazing number, right? You
Very
think about it.
figure.
Yeah.
Djordjevic. Trail going into the break and got a goal from Pereira about 20 minutes later. Kalmanic. Here's Wolf. And bending it in behind in towards Bucati. Controls well. Bucati on the turn. Bucati! And a palm up from St. Clair.
Canadian international. Again, it's Wolf over the top. Bucati cuts up the defender. Josef Rosales, and how about that?
Here's Boxall. And there is the full-time whistle. We will need 30 minutes more in this Open Cup semifinal between Minnesota and Austin. Bucati the goal in the first half. Joaquin Pereira with a wonderful free kick.
Yeah, and I think there's been a couple players struggling physically at the end of this one. They've laid it all out on the line here. They got to do it for 30 more minutes now.
As you're underway with extra time, Minnesota 1, Austin 1. Really made an attacking impact on the game as yet. In the midst of his best run of form of his career. Laid out wide for Bidu, tried that cross into Ozuni, who got the touch. And at full stretch, directs it on target, but well read by St. Clair.
He's able to steer this one on frame. Remember that opportunity he had at the near post, a little deflection there. Couldn't put that one on frame in the first half. This was actually a more difficult opportunity. Not enough to beat Dane St. Clair. I keep thinking back to that save he made about 80 minutes into this one and how big it is right now just to get him to extra time. Laid it all on the line tonight. You could tell his legs were going here. CJ Fodry, this will be a like for like. A left winger.
Similarly as well, the tired legs out there. And there is the halftime whistle in extra time. Neither side able to find the breakthrough. Haven't really got much going forward. He remains one of the 8 outfield players that have gone the full 105 minutes. Both coaches. That black accent as well. Side looking for that opening. Sabovic popping it out wide. Gallagher with running to do. It's out for a throw. Assistant lost his flag in doing so. Austin will keep numbers high up here. Duggan. Lift clear. Longwane, and now Fitz can play the ball. This promising moment. Longwane played in. Did he time his run well? He's in behind. Bongi Longwane to finish, and Longwane denied by Stuver. And it's given as a corner. He was onside.
I don't know if this is the best angle. No. Best, obviously, to keep the flag down. I thought in the end it'd be raised. Anything about it. Coming up big once again for Austin.
Massive save. Lud trying to flick on. Free kick awarded is. Austin might have taken penalties before this game started, but it's a good ball for Gallagher. Final chance. Lifted into that area. Uzuni's header! Save from St. Clair! Fondre volleys in! There's your unlikely hero! CJ Fondre with his second career goal, and it sends Austin FC to the Open Cup final.
Game on the road in a really difficult place to play, and they eventually, after 120 minutes and after another massive save by Dane St. Clair, find the breakthrough that looks like it's going to put them in the U.S. Open Cup final.
Was a super draft pick in 2023, but had to take his time to get into the first team. Scored his first goal in Major League Soccer. And Austin are surely there now. And there is the full-time whistle. Austin FC have come to Minnesota and punched their ticket to the Open Cup final.